guys. I'm just putting on the last minute cleaning touches here to the place before you're ready to film. Hey there, how's it going, everybody?
I think so long that Airsoftfatty has his tiny house, there will be content abound of him just exploiting things, talking about things, just existing within that dwelling. That will intrigue me and make me want to make videos about him. This instance is about him being completely ungrateful for the work that was done inside of his tiny house. It's only been about a week, and this dude is already talking about how much he hates certain aspects of the design and all that jazz, and it shouldn't be surprising. I mean, look at him. He's basically laying like a slug on the floor, grimy as all hell, slimy, sweaty, just not a good look, dude. And part of the thing is, I don't think that they installed a window HVAC unit, AC unit, into this tiny home. It looks like there's just a fan sitting there, and that's clearly not going to cool a man that is way too large, and his only retribution is to be shirtless the entire time and slither on the floor in order to stay cool. Not looking good, dude. Either way, Fatty thought, you know, some people would get a housewarming gift, or they bring their significant other to their new residence. Instead, Fatty thought, hey, let's do a cooking with Fatty to really, you know, tie that bow, break that bottle across its bow to say, this is the Fatty home. So we'll get to see that. We'll also get to see some really unfunny skits, and it's just going to be a blast. Let's get into it.
I might have to toot. Oh, God. Oh, that hurt. That one hurt a little bit. Shit. No,
come on.
Oh,
bro.
Oh, okay, give us a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. This is bad. Oh.
Farts are funny, guys. Or farts were really funny. I think farts and crapping your pants are really funny. The best aspect about this is that he's got some stains. You know, he just did a tire screech across his underwear right there, because that did not sound like it was just a harmless little fart. I think he's got a little treasure trail stuck in his underwear right now, and it shouldn't be surprising. He still doesn't have a toilet, so he's probably just crapping his pants. You know, he's pulling an only use me blade, throwing on some diapers, shitting and pissing himself. It's a real good scenario, and I get it. You guys are gonna say, "Oh, you're being too picky. You're criticizing too hard about fart jokes," and it's like, maybe I like fart jokes. You know, a timely fart joke or a poop joke, I'm all for it. There's just something about a man that is completely drenched in sweat, incapable of standing up inside of his gifted tiny home, that just absolutely ripped ass and then made a joke about it. That doesn't sit well with me. I'm sorry. I'm the bad guy. I understand. But this instance, sorry. Fat joke not approved. Fat joke. Fart joke not approved. Fat joke approved. That's what I meant to say. Jesus.
I'm trying to get my fat ass up here. Okay. Hi. I'm Airsoftfatty.
Like, I get it. He's trying to do a little gag here. A little goof and a gag. It would be a lot funnier if it wasn't very apparent that you are incapable of standing up and you are incapable of actually getting your words out properly. Then it might actually land a little bit. And you can see, you know, there's a nice little sweat stain right where his crotch and his stomach collide. Not looking great, dude. Not doing super well. I mean, what is there to say? The man has to basically do the splits in order to get enough traction underneath his massive upper body in order to stand up, and what happens if he falls? He and my grandmother have the same concern. One fall and Fatty's out for the count.
We have our kitchen area here. It's not much. It's a single tub sink that has a sink head that is too long. I didn't get a chance to clean that up in the stove top, but yeah, it's a little long. So if I try to like use it like there, it's not like as easy. See, I can't use it on the sides, and yeah.
So I think he's just complaining that he can't get the water to flow directly at the front of the sink closest to the nozzle. I think that's his biggest complaint. I mean, I guess, they could have upgraded from a $30 nozzle, well, 30's cheap, a $50 nozzle to an $80 nozzle that was detachable, just like what he has in the shower. That way it could navigate and move around. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. The crazy part about all of this, in my point of view, is that Fatty's going to come off extremely ungrateful, but he was literally gifted everything for no reason. Literally, Sam Hyde, through the kindness of his heart, resurrected Airsoftfatty, and Fatty can't even be appreciative for that. You know, he'll keep saying, oh, thanks to the GoFundMe people for sending money. And it's like, where are they even sending money for? You know, just so he's not homeless? Like, I guess, but like, the dude is like the biggest baby on earth. He's just gonna continue to complain and cry over every minor infraction that occurs within the house. And the sink is the least of our worries. So, it's just gonna get so much worse.
I'm not a huge fan of electric stoves, to be honest. So when you cook meat on it, it's not as nice, but it works, does the job I need it to, and so long as it cooks like it's gonna do tonight, I ain't got no issue with it, Mr. Heisenberg.
What does that even mean? I have no issue with it, Mr. Heisenberg? What the hell is he even referencing? Is that a Walter White reference? Is that the, what was that physics study with gold? Is it that guy? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know what he's referencing. Either way, I think it's best that they didn't go with the gas stove. For obvious reasons, they'd have to hook up gas, get it all set up, and then have Fatty blow himself up inside. I mean, that's all fair. And also, I mean, we're on a budget. I don't know where all the money went necessarily, because this doesn't look like 15 grand to work personally. That's my opinion. But we're trying to conserve money here, buckaroo, and getting the electric stove just makes sense. And we've seen, and we're about to see, the types of foods you make. An electric stove's going to do just fine. You're not over here cooking filet mignons on top of your stovetop, alright? You're making the cheapest chuck possible from the grocery store and sliding the grease down your gullet. That's what you're making. I don't think you need the best stovetop in the cooking area in order to accomplish this.
Let's move on to the living room, aka where I fucking sleep, which is right here. And surprisingly enough, this couch is not big enough for me. It is about 3/4 the size I need it to be.
Turns out everything inside of this house is 3/4 the size it needed to be, except for Fatty, who's 4 times the size that he needs to be. And, you know, those math equations, they're just not adding up. You're trying to solve for the variable, and the variable is him going to take a jog outside, and that's just not going to happen. So, it's not surprising to me that your futon, that clearly was bought from IKEA or a similar store like that, probably for like $80, you know, no wonder it's not going to be very comfortable for a 400-pound man to lay on. Not surprising. It didn't catch me by surprise, Fatty. So he talks about wanting to get a new one, and it's like, how are you able to just completely replace a piece of furniture right away? I don't get it. You know, if it's not broken, don't replace it. Deal with it. Maybe lose weight. Then you can fit on just the couch part of the futon. Because he complains that the back support of the futon is too uncomfortable to lay down on when he stretches it out. And it's like, I don't know, try and fit on one side of the couch then. That's a solution. You can also see that little box fan that's sitting on the couch right there, because I guess they don't have a window unit that is supplying cold air into this space. And it's no wonder that everything is going to fall apart and get completely destroyed, because nobody that was doing all of this construction understood what the long-term goal of this place was, and Fatty is the recipient for that.
As you can see, currently there's no toilet. We are getting that set up to be a an electronic flushless. That's we're waiting to get here. So then we're probably going to get a porta potty or something, and going to use that as like a temporary kind of thing.
So I saw people discussing this like flushless toilet thing. First off, it's an extremely expensive item. It's like almost $1,000 to buy, and then you have to buy these like compressed air filter things to replace like every month, and those are like $100. So this dude's gonna be spending $1,200 a year just to be able to flush a toilet when he could go out back and dig a hole and just squat over and take a crap in there. I don't know where he's pooping or peeing right now. I mean, he still has videos at somebody's house. I don't know whose, if it's Blazes or whatever his name is, or some other friend. And it really seems like the tiny house is going to morph into this pet project where it's just like Fatty never stays there. He just owns it. But because he complains too much, doesn't have all the amenities he needs, he just won't stay in there. And I think that's the likelihood of this whole situation. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to rent a porta potty, but surely for $200 a month, renting that for a couple years will equate to how much it costs for 1 year for the new toilet to be installed somewhere. Also, is he not going to just completely smash that thing when he sits on it? I don't know. That's my first inkling. You need like a super toilet to be able to hold him up, and I don't think some eco-friendly compostable toilet's going to serve that duty.
Things I need to call out because the people that worked with me, I kind of skipped down a few steps. Come on with me, Pam, got here. Here, come on. Our MTV pays you the good bucks to come here. So right here is one of the spots here on the walling where it's kind of buckled because they didn't put it down right. Right there, yeah. It's not very good. And it's almost every wall they skipped it on because even this has like actual push and give.
This just shows how completely brain dead Fatty and these construction dudes were, because Fatty's thinking, oh, they didn't glue these wall panels down correctly. Fatty, the reason why your cheap wall paneling is already bending and peeling and coming apart is because somehow you guys didn't install an exhaust fan to take out all the humidity and moisture from your shower. Your shower is sitting in an exposed part of why do you think all showers are in a secluded room with fans to be able to suck the moisture out of? Why do you think that exists? Well, it's because so you don't develop mildew, and it's why you don't develop mold. And also, why do you think, why do you think showers usually use tile? Why do you think that we're not using things like panel? You know, it's either that or we will use a plaster on the wall. You know, why would we not use a panel? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because moisture getting into the sealant and into the glue of the panel is going to create these water pockets that make it bend and pop off. Huh. Who could have seen that coming? And it's like, yeah, we're using some dudes that have like shoddy experience for free. But at the same time, Fatty's over here who did nothing. We literally have clips of him sleeping on the floor. And he's over here complaining about, oh, it's too shoddy. We were literally telling him to pay attention to how they were doing things so that when things break, he knows how to fix them. This place is going to become a complete dumpster fire within like a month because he's not going to clean and these things are going to keep breaking and it's going to look like shit. And that's what it's going to be at the end of the day. And, you know, maybe I'm here for it. Stupidity should not be rewarded with sympathy. That's my opinion.
Because it's old-timey recipes. This is simple, easy, nutritious. Well, I killed it.
No, who doesn't like having bugs and mosquitoes flying around your food when you're cooking? You know, you really have to love, you know, Fatty always talks about how he's on a diet and how he wants to lose weight and how he's not satisfied being the size he is. And, you know, it's starting to make some sense because he just called the meal that he's about to cook as nutritious. In case you're unaware, he is cooking SpaghettiOs, some like 50-50 chuck, like 50% fat, 50% meat, something like that. It looks awful. And then he's going to mix in 2 bags of different cheeses into that mixture. And that's somehow nutritious. You know, the reason why Fatty is probably, you know, creating these Mondo turds that he's pooping his diaper with is probably because he hasn't seen or touched a vegetable in several years. So he's just consuming fat and he's getting constipated and it's making his bunghole hurt. You know, why don't you, you know, you could have, with the $5,000 you embezzled from this project, why didn't you just hire some nutritionist to come live with you for like 2 months? You know, why not? Have me come out there. I don't want to because this place wasn't built right. And it's inside, it's probably 90% humidity and 100% heat. So, I don't know, man. Not looking good.
There's no way for me to properly express how grateful I am, other than some sets of content that are coming out soon. Yeah, keep an eye out. I've got a little something special for you guys coming up here in the next couple weeks that I think you guys are really going to love. I'm going to start giving a little something back to the community here and there. And I don't know, I'm hoping that you guys enjoy what we do, because we are busting our ass to produce nothing but the best of content for you guys. So one last time, well, not one last time, but once again, thank you to the guys over at GoFundMe who helped make this possible.
You know, I hate to be the Debbie Downer because it's sort of like a person throwing rocks within a glass home type situation deal over here, but what is the content that is good that Fatty makes? Can somebody elaborate that? I saw he just uploaded Chug Part 2, and it's like, that's what we're all supposed to be. Wow. Woo! That's what I'm tuning in for Fatty. You know, I'm not, you know, it's grand coming from somebody that covers lolcows for a channel's living. But, like, at the same time, you know, I'm not over here saying that I'm creating masterpieces. I'm not over here saying I'm Mr. Beast of commentary channels, you know. I'm not even saying that my content's necessarily good. But I'm hoping that my personality, you know, pokes through and encourages people to return. And maybe that's what Fatty's trying to do. But to try and tell me that eating a SpaghettiOs and 2 bags of cheese meal is supposed to make me be like, yeah, this is the content I am waiting for. Go Fatty. Woohoo! I'm in for a rude awakening if that's the case.
We can drain all the fats and stuff from the meat. Good handful of that in there. Set these shut. More cheese later. And now what you should have is a bit cheesy of a mess.
Doesn't that look delicious, guys? I wish I was there to be able to get a serving of this delicious fatty food. You know, I'm just thinking of it, watching it now, and it's like, Fatty doesn't have a dishwasher. So, like, is he just gonna end up reusing dirty plates and dirty utensils the entire time? Because, on one hand, me personally, I actually kind of like not using a dishwasher for a multitude of reasons. You know, you can't let your dishes pile up if you don't have a dishwasher, because then you're like, I just have to clean it, I have to get it done now. And at the same time, sometimes the dishwasher doesn't get the job done completely and you end up washing anyway. That's my dishwasher talk for the century for you guys out there. But you really think Fatty's gonna pour some elbow grease into that and scrub these pans and these utensils and these bowls to be able to, you know, make sure he doesn't get some weird disease from cooking the 12th meal within a dirty pot for the 15th time? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Dude! What the fudge? Yo, chill! Those noises actually do hurt my ears, dude. How do I kill it?
Isn't this the entertaining content we all wanted to see, guys? Isn't weed cool and quirky and funny? Isn't that funny? The crazy part is they literally do this gag of this dude dressed up as the alien spraying the weed smoke around the room like for 15 minutes. It's just a reoccurring joke. It's not funny the first time. Maybe the novelty of it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's haha, but the ironic part of it was that Fatty, I felt like, has talked about wanting to move away from the stream and weed content, but I guess that's just who his personality is. He also gets really pissed off at the smoke alarm because they keep setting it off over and over and over again. I mean, maybe a hood over your stovetop might have been a good addition too, because let me tell you, this is going to be a recurring problem, and Fatty's going to get so angry, he's going to start breaking things eventually, because like a toddler, he just can't control his anger when something slightly inconveniences him. Oh well.
God damn it.
You got it, Chris.
Yeah, but it's just gonna keep going up. Can we just pull it down for now?
No.
Please?
No, dude, I can't
I don't
reach
want to have
that.
to keep getting back up and down, dude. I don't think my mask is too much. Alright.
God forbid Airsoftfatty gets up every once in a while to do anything. He just wants to sit down and eat his goy slop just like the next fatty 2 houses down. Why expect him to do anything? And this is the whole rationale for why I think this place is gonna... It's already a mess. He has garbage everywhere and his table's a complete disaster. But it's gonna get so much worse, because the walls are gonna keep popping off. His equipment's gonna get all musty and dirty. I mean, like, he literally... This is why the layout of the whole place... Where's he gonna put the toilet? We're gonna put it right by that medicine cabinet, and what, he's just gonna poop there? And we're gonna have poop and pee particles flying around everywhere? This place is like a biohazard. I'm like 2 seconds away from calling the county, wherever he is in New York, and being like, we have to condemn this tiny house, because pretty soon it's gonna become some poop infested radioactive wasteland, and we have to get in front of it.
We're gonna take us to drink this bug juice. I got a shirt.
I mean, he probably doesn't have the strength within his wrists to be able to open a bottle normally. So I was gonna just lampoon him for trying to do a funny gag of trying to open his bottle. But at the same time, I don't think he has the strength to be able to open it normally. So, to each their own. On another hand, if you don't remember what bug juice was, I remember I've only had bug juice once or twice in my entire life as like a 7-year-old, and I loved it because it's just chock full of sugar. And I looked up their website recently, and they advertise being the #1 sponsor of some D4 lacrosse team, and I don't even know where I can buy this from. I guess they're still in production somewhere, but I've never seen them sold anywhere anymore, so it makes it difficult. It makes me sad. If you haven't had bug juice, go find bug juice. Alright? Me and Fatty can agree on one thing.
It just slaps. This right here's a pretty dang good meal.
Is it funny yet, guys? He was hiding in the shower. Oh my god, guys, he was in the shower. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's so funny. Then he comes out and he sprays him with weed smoke, and then he coughs because he can't take the hit. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. I think I'm losing my mind. Everybody watching this is probably like, You're blowing this out of proportion. And no, I think I'm blowing it within proportion. This is the type of humor that Sam Hyde tried to advocate for, alright? And somebody has to put their foot down, because Fatty is not a comedian in the skit sense. Him trying to set up skits that are goofy and funny and haha, that's not what Fatty is good at. Fatty is good at tripping over his own feet and falling into trash cans. That's the humor that Fatty is good at and should stick with it. Either way, that takes us to the end of Fatty being ungrateful. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, peace.